Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Hearthstone. A new expansion is viewable now via the collection, so let's look at this new expansion and look at the new cards. So to see the new cards, you go to crafting mode and then you click include uncraftable cards, and then you click over here and you click on Rumble. Last time we looked at the priest cards, so this time we will be looking at the rogue cards. And we're trying to burn through these very fast because we know the neutral video will go very long. So let's hop into it. So first we have a 1 mana, 1 attack, 3 durability common weapon called the Serrated Tooth. Death Rattle, give your minions rush. Now the thing is, you play this on the first turn, you attack for 3 turns, and then what? Like, you've done 3 damage and you've given maybe 2 or 3 minions rush when they kinda wouldn't need it? Like, let's see, you play this on the 3rd turn. That means you've summoned maybe 3 or 4 minions, but probably at most 3 on that 3rd turn that would benefit from having rush. Now, if the minions had already attacked and you gave them rush, they still wouldn't be able to attack again. So it really is just whoever you would summon on the 3rd turn. Even if you played this on the 10th turn, the idea that you're summoning that many minions on the on a specific turn is not that high. Like, you could only have 7 minions on the field if it was the 10th turn and somehow you summoned 7 minions and then you played this attack and it gave them all rush. Still probably not very useful. Like, I'm not really seeing the value here. I guess if you ignore the Death Rattle and just say, well, for 1 mana you have a 1/3 weapon, it probably is valuable there. In the case of Rogue, maybe, but maybe not, because the Rogue's hero ability is just to summon like a 1/2 weapon on the 2nd turn with 2 mana. So I don't see much of a difference there. I don't think this is a good card. I think that's an actual bad card. We haven't seen a lot of those so far. Next we have a 2 mana, 1 attack, 1 health pirate class minion called the Bloodsail Howler. It has rush, which means it can attack a minion on its 1st turn, on the turn it's summoned, and a battle cry to gain +1/+1 for each other pirate you control, which I guess could be as much as +6/+6, which would make it a 7/7 for 2 mana, but you'd be highly unlikely to play it that late game. Now, I would say, generally speaking, this is probably not that great of a card, but the fact that it's a pirate card gives it a little bit of an exception here. I imagine there's a couple of pirate cards that are going to get moved into wild, and you're going to need something like this just to maintain a deck of 30 cards that are pirate based. And pirates are alright, but probably not the best kind of rogue deck you could build. Next we have a 2 mana spell called Stolen Steel. Discover a weapon from another class. There could be some craziness with this, certainly. Stealing some other classes' weapon, but I think more often than not you'd get a pretty bad weapon or a mediocre weapon at best. Next we have a 3 mana spell called the Raiding Party. Draw 2 pirates from your deck, and if you combo it, meaning you played this card after you'd played a previous card in the same turn, you get a weapon also. So yeah, that makes some sense, but also you have to be careful. If you're playing a pirate deck that only had like 1 weapon and this card, there's a decent chance that you would have drawn the weapon already before you got this card and could play it, which then would push the need to have more weapons in your deck, more than you probably would want to. So maybe, maybe not. Depends on the very specific deck you're building. Next we have a 4 mana, 0 attack, 3 health minion called Spirit of the Shark. There's actually quite a lot of minions that have been added in this expansion that just have 0 attack and 3 health. I don't know why that's specifically the case. We're probably just filling in the gaps of a bunch of cards that are like 0 attack and 2 health that cost 3 mana or 2 mana, so they're just making slightly better versions of those for more cost. Spirit of the Shark has stealth for 1 turn. Your minions' battle cries and combos trigger twice. This makes this card, I'm thinking, way better than previous cards, because they're definitely, I'm fairly certain there's never been a card that says combos trigger twice. That's going to be amazing. In any kind of rogue combo deck, you would definitely want this card, or 2 copies of this card. And the way this is phrased, if you had 2 of these on the field, by the way, it would not trigger it 4 times. It would only still trigger it twice, unfortunately. But there is definitely a minion that doubles your battle cries. So if you were to play that minion and this minion, it probably still would only double your battle cries, depending on how that one is phrased. But you could probably use this card to replace that previous card. This one seems a lot better. Next we have a 4 mana spell called Walk the Plank. Destroy an undamaged minion. That doesn't sound too bad for 4 mana. This is the type of card you'd want to play late in the game, and most bad players, including myself, would get rushed and play it way too early. Next we have a 5 mana, 2 attack, 2 health minion, a legendary minion called Growl the Shark. Battlecry, eat a minion in your deck and gain its stat. Death Rattle, add it to your hand. So gain its stats. I'm not 100% sure on this one, because this almost would have to be a card that you would play in an all legendaries deck, or an all just super powerful minions deck. Like if all the other minions in your deck are 10/10 or higher in their attack or health, and you play this on the 5th turn, that would be great. But if you're playing more of a realistic deck where you're going to play something before the 10th turn, you're probably going to just eat something that's like a 2/3 or at best a 4/4 and gain its stats. And I assume if you gain its stats, you're getting not its effects. So if this guy ate something that had Divine Shield and Taunt, I'm assuming it doesn't get Divine Shield and Taunt, but if it does, that would be nice. But yeah, I don't think that this one would in practicality make as much sense as it seems like it does. Next we have a 6 mana spell called Cannon Barrage. Deal 3 damage to a random enemy. Repeat for each of your pirates. So you could theoretically have 7 pirates on the field, and then that would be 21 damage to random enemies. Not quite enough to do a 1-turn kill on your opponent, but pretty devastating nonetheless, assuming you have 7 minions on your 6th turn, which would probably never be the case. Again, a card that's probably a little bit more later game than 6th turn would or the 6 mana would indicate. And next we have a 7 mana, 5 attack, 7 health minion called Gurubashi Hypemon. Its battlecry is discover a 1/1 copy of a battlecry minion. It costs 1 mana. I think this is probably insane, but only in a few scenarios because it's a discovered gamble. You're probably going to generally get just 1/1 copies of battlecry minions that don't do anything that interesting. This really does feel like a gamble card. It's not too bad at 5 attack and 7 health for 7 mana, but it definitely does seem like it's more of a gamble than anything else. I'd like to see somebody play with this for several hundred games and see how often the results are positive. And again, all these cards may not make a ton of sense until we get into the neutral cards and see what the neutral has to say. Although it is also very possible that we look at the neutral cards and they're all very generic and still don't make a lot of sense. But I'm not hating this new expansion. It seems pretty good so far. Next we have an 8 mana, 6 attack, 3 health pirate. So we get another pirate called Captain's Hook Tusk. Captain Hook Tusk has a battle cry: summon 3 pirates from your deck, give them a rush. That's not too bad. The health is low certainly, and the attack is a little low, but that really isn't terrible. Now at some point early in Hearthstone, and I don't know if this is still the case, getting all the pirates would give you a special reward of another card. I think Hearthstone has pretty much stopped doing that. So, and certainly by them adding more pirates, the qualifications to own all the pirates seems to go up higher and higher. But I was certainly in the back of my mind working towards owning all the pirates. And that's potentially going to be a little bit harder. Most of the pirate cards also are going to be neutral cards. So the only thing that is specific to Rogue, I think, is combo cards. So I didn't see anything that felt like a big synergy here. You could certainly play Shadow Step to do combo cards. Here is the weapon that keeps all its enchantments. I thought this was a priest card. I guess it wasn't. So there's a minion that keeps all its enchantments under priest, and a weapon card under rogue. 5 minions with the same name. I don't think any of the cards in this new expansion would help you with that. Here's a combo card that, if it happened twice, would be helpful. Certainly, but to be fair, this probably wouldn't be that helpful to happen twice unless you're doing damage to the opponent's hero. Gain +2/+2 for each card you've played this turn. So if the combo cards happen twice, on this instance, this guy would get buffed up quite a bit. So this one all of a sudden has a lot more value. I haven't seen a lot of people playing this card ever since it came out. But a lot of these also don't seem like 1/1 versions of them would make sense. Battlecry in particular, 1/1 version of Battlecry cards. Here's Echo cards. We didn't see anything mention Echo cards in the new expansion. Let's see. This guy gets benefited by Death Rattle cards, not combo cards or Battlecry cards. Let's Let's see, what does this hero replacement do? Not much. See, this is a Murloc quest, and none of the cards in the new expansion really were playing towards Murlocs. See this? Oh, I'm in the shaming classes now. Oops. Yeah, I went right through the rogue class cards. This was the last rogue card. Yeah, I don't really see any strategy in these new cards except for the strategy of playing pirates, which is fine, I guess. And yeah, nothing that makes that make as much sense as it should. Nothing that really makes that make any sense. So the rogue feels like it's okay. Not great, not terrible, but okay. And so we'll leave it at that. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos, because that helps me with YouTube and tells them my videos are worth watching. And when you subscribe, it would be helpful to you if you click the notification bell. If you want to friend or follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, or Battle.net, all of those links are down below in the description box. And if you want to support me, which would be greatly appreciated, you can support me down below via Patreon for as little as $1 a month, or you can give me a one-time gift by friending me on Steam and gifting me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.